it and seeing it on the post and talking about it. You scroll, 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 and you see the same things. And you know why? Because we're all humans living on the same human planet. We're all going through the same emotions. We share that. We have that in common. So when you read about, all the positive things, motivation, inspiration, being leveled up leveling, having courage, having a positive attitude, having a good mindset, self-care, and you read about all the pain points, all the topics are the same: stress, overwhelm, procrastination, putting things off, and not holding up your boundaries, putting yourself last, playing small. They're all the same topics. Yeah, we're all going through the same human experience on the same planet Earth. Now, there are cultural differences and there are generational differences, and each person is unique in how they experience, like your fingerprint. No one has your exact experience because nobody can, because they're not your brain and they're not your body, but the same type of experience, right? The reason I bring this up is because I had heard a podcast a few weeks ago, and it was great. A coach, a certain type of coach, a grief coach, had on as her guest someone that talked about grief. So like a guest grief coach. And the guest grief coach really nailed it, that we grieve a lot of things, and grief in and of itself is not bad. We grieve when we lose our identity or our sense of identity of who we were. Like when somebody gets fired or laid off, or there's a career change, or you just make a decision that changes what you thought you were going to do in life. Like all of a sudden you're a mom, well, not all of a sudden, but you're a mom and your identity changes and you grieve. It's like, what? You grieve that? We thought grieving was just when you lose someone, literally. All right. Or you're grieving for the loss of a loved something or someone. But no, grief can just be, or grieving, that bittersweetness, that melancholy, that thinking, I wanted that, and now I want this. I still kind of think of that. You change. So you're grieving through the change. It was fascinating. Today, I heard another podcast, somebody talking something similar. She said she was grieving, thinking when she went to a beautiful city. Everybody talks about Paris. So let's just use Paris. It can be anywhere, Prague, whatever. She was in this beautiful city, and she started thinking when she was out of college that she started thinking she would move somewhere in Europe. And she started thinking about all the dreams she had. Now, she loves her life. She's successful, but she made a different choice. She always thought she was going to be single or to partner with somebody who would travel, not have children, the whole bit. We saw this in When Harry Met Sally, remember? They so-called didn't want children until she did. But she started feeling a loss, not because she regretted anything in her life or she wasn't happy with her partner and now she had kids, because she had this sort of sense of loss, like mourning of that dream. Anyway, it was fascinating, but the two were really talking about the same thing. And then I started thinking about when you scroll through podcasts, what do I listen to today? I do when I work out or go for a walk or drive. A lot of the topics are repeats from different people. I'm scrolling through, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, same stuff. So what? Everybody has their own perspective and everyone has their own opinion and way to say it. But the main thing is, how do you know who to go to if you want help? For example, a coach, career coach, business coach, executive coach, sports coach, whoever. Or even if you choose to go to a certain doctor or specialist, or like I was thinking, an auto mechanic. The main thing, in my opinion, since I'm speaking here, is just my perspective. Who do I want to go with? So here's my tip, unsolicited, but you're watching. Go with somebody who has the knowledge, somebody who knows what she or he is talking about. As much knowledge as makes you comfortable and confident. Knowledge in what they're talking about. Someone who can answer your questions and is transparent about it. Second, somebody who actually believes what they're saying. Not only are they knowledgeable of it, they believe in it. This is the company's policy and protocol and way to do things, or his own company or her own practice. And I believe in it fully. And this is why. And third, for me, they love it. They absolutely love it. To me, it's purpose. It's fulfilling to them. They're proud of it. Now, even when you have a job that it's not your dream job, if you have integrity in that job and you're loving your part in it, your role in it until the next step, if that's not your dream job or it's not your dream situation in a relationship or dynamics, whatever, if it's a stepping stone anywhere, as long as you have the integrity, that replaces the loving it. Know what I mean? So to me, it's knowledge, whether it's education, training, experience, but true knowledge that you feel comfortable with. Two, that they walk the talk, meaning they believe in it. They believe in what they're saying, their product, their service. And third, they like it. They love it. They absolutely cherish that, whether it's their role in the job, that they're doing a good job in it. Like I may not want to work as this hotel clerk forever, but I'm working my way up to being a social scientist. I don't know, whatever, but they're putting themselves through that for the work. They do a good job and they love it. Those are my criteria, or that is my criteria, my 3 things. What's yours? So when looking for coaching, this kind of bothered me when I heard the podcast. I'm like, how am I going to stand out? Why am I so bothered by it? Okay, because I get caught up in all the posts and all the social media. And I think, how am I going to stand out? Well, that's branding and marketing. Ultimately, am I knowledgeable of what I'm talking about? Yes. And I love that because I am such a reader and such a researcher, and I take trainings and certifications so that I feel like I understand it and that I get it and I know what I'm talking about. And then I develop my process. Do I believe in it? Absolutely. Do I love it? Yes. And the hard part when I say yes is because, oh my God, I love it so much. If we had social whatever where the government paid for it and I just could do it and they just paid me for it, I used to say that as a personal trainer. If the government would just subsidize this, I would just forget to charge people because I love it that much. Okay, I'm not turning off socialist or anything, but I'm saying you love it so much that if somebody just made sure that you're paid well and you don't have to bill people, you love it, so you do it. That's what I mean by loving it, or having integrity in that job. Because I've held jobs I didn't necessarily like, but I put myself in it. That's the customer service I always talk about. So back to, if you're looking for a coach, that's what I recommend, or an auto mechanic or a doctor or whoever, because ultimately it's integrity. And, to do the cliche, they're speaking their truth. Yes, they're all the same topics. They're all the same problems or issues or challenge. You want to get a new career or you want to level up. It's all the same goals. But we ultimately go with, we know deep down, we look at them, do they fit my criteria? So if you're scared of going with someone, ask yourself why. If it's just the money, okay, look at the 3 things. And that's when we go for testimonials and all that. If you're scared of investing in yourself, that's another topic. Right now, I'm just going with, yes, they all cover the same things. Who are we going to go with? And now I'm ranting. I mean, going on and on and on down the rabbit hole. I'm rambling. But to take it back to why I went on here is because I heard the podcast today. It was phenomenal. And they're both good at what they do. And they're both worth listening to. And that's why I started thinking of myself, like, don't worry about the social media posts. Yes, I'm hitting the same problems because guess what? We're all humans and we're all going through the same human experience. And we all seek out help and guidance, the right type of guidance for us. And that's what I do. I coach people in a way that it works for them. My process is evidentiary thought work. We use our thoughts. It's a certain process, but tailoring it to each person because each person is unique. And I want someone to hear me when I go to them for help. My doctor, my auto mechanic, my coach. So I want to hear them when they're with me. All right, just thought I'd share. What do you think?